According to the United Nations Environmental Program, Africa will be severely struck by the impact of climate change. It poses a particular threat to continued economic growth and to livelihoods of vulnerable populations. Nyong, Director for Climate Change and Green Growth with the African Development Bank, recently spoke with Africa 54's Nyong about the effects of climate change on the continent.
It's important that African leaders understand that climate change is a cross-cutting issue. It shows up in your agriculture, the droughts, the floods, and so on. And sometimes a particular country just comes out of a drought only to enter into a flood. It shows in your water resources, it shows in your energy, it shows up in education, it shows up everywhere. So we need to understand that you do not look at climate change just as an externality, let's leave it, we'll deal with it later. While you are waiting, it's negatively affecting your entire economy. So that's the message we're trying to send out. But when you also look at the opportunities that climate change brings, and so if you look at the map of Africa, you'll see opportunities for renewable energy, solar, across the entire middle part of Africa. You see opportunities for hydroelectricity across all our major lakes and rivers. You see opportunities for climate-smart agriculture all over the place. So we need to take advantage of this. The cost of renewable energy, for instance, solar, has crashed so much. This is the time for the African continent to look at it and say we can provide electricity to our citizens at a very reduced cost and provide it clean. So that's why we've established the Africa Financial Alliance on Climate Change. And the idea here is to bring together all the major players in the financial sector and align their investments in a way that would drive Africa on a greener development pathway. So we have principles that institutions will adhere to. It's voluntary. And then ultimately, we're going to develop an index that will rank African financial institutions in terms of their contributions to driving this green transformation on the continent.
Nyong is the Director for Climate Change and Green Growth with the African Development Bank.